Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you watched our last tutorial, we literally just got done making this guy. So, time to amp it up a bit. We're going to be doing his face, we're going to be doing his hands, his feet, you name it. But it's going to get real important and really sketchy from here because this is going to take a lot more control than what we've done thus far. This is by far the most complex thing we've done this entire time. But we're going to go a step further, okay? First off, we're going to keep with the hands and feet to start with, and then we're going to move up to working on his head. So, you have your choice of where you want to start. I'm tempted to start with the head, but that might be, I'm not sure if that's a good decision or a bad decision. Start wherever you feel most comfortable, but for the sake of argument, we're going to start with hands. And we're going to go with Insert Edge Loop Tool. So, we're actually going to be putting a giant edge loop through our character here. Oh, for some reason it doesn't want to cooperate here. Did I do some? Oh, there we go. Okay. So make sure you're set to relative distance from the edge. And we're gonna break this guy into 4. Now, if you notice, this literally just went through our entire mesh. So you might end up having to do just like me and fixing a couple areas here. Don't be afraid, take your time, really fix this guy up. We want him to be as capable as possible. So, now that we got those edge loops, you'll notice they're literally stretching throughout him. Don't worry, we're going to fix them up in a little bit. But in the meantime, you're going to have to do this one at a time, or maybe 2 at a time. But first off, let's grab these verts. And we're literally just going to grab these finger pieces and move them as best we can. There we go. And we're going to leave this section alone because we need to build his thumb. I'm actually going to try and show you 2 different methods to doing it. Or maybe even a third method. Anyways, so now you got to grab the face, okay, and we're going to extrude. And just like with everything else, we want in joints of 2. And we're going to shrink ever so slightly. And same process as before, except with each joint of the hand. Keep in mind, this is completely up to you on how thick or thin you want to do this, and how many sections you want to do it. Some characters only have like 2 sections, some characters have 3. I like to build mine semi-realistic, so I kind of do the 3-section thing. Maybe your guy's super flexible and has like 5. That'd be actually kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do that a little bit later on with the monster. Anyways, so you're going to do this with every single finger. And keep in mind that fingers definitely differ in length. But we're also going to have to like correct this because no one's hand is perfectly straight like this. This is just weird, right? But, one thing at a time. And hit a 2. Pull it out again. Hit a 2. And then one more time. And make sure you don't squish it too much, because if you notice, our fingers look pretty good so far. But if you squish it too far, you're going to end up with needle fingers. Needle fingers looks weird. Oh, see, I already screwed up. 2. 2. You guys probably notice I'm screwing up every now and again here. Don't stress it too much if you have a little bit of an oopsie or you screw up a little bit. Just take your time. Once again, as with all art, this is a labor of love. Even if you're not doing this for the art of it, keep in mind that people still consider this art, and art's hard work. For some people it comes naturally, but so does basketball. It's all just simple matters. Oh, let me do that. Come on. There we go. Once again, don't be afraid if you make small mistakes. Just either try to correct them as you go, or just try not to worry about them, especially if they're small ones. Like if you notice, I've got a couple of small ones here, but believe it or not, we're gonna be fixing these later. So that's a thing. Okay, and let's drop this edge right here. Oh, there. That's fine. Okay, next up is the thumb. Now, people do this at different places, respectively. Some people do it down here. Some people do it from the side. I personally prefer the side, honestly. And I personally prefer giving this feel right here. You could even do technically both and actually pull from both these right here. But I'm just going to stick with this for now. And once again, same as always, we're going to treat this like a specialized joint, like a ball joint, because your thumb pretty much is just that. It's a ball joint. There we go. And he's got stubby fingers. I just realized that. Gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to fix that with an edge loop. I'm sorry. I'm messing up pretty regularly today, but that's also part of the process. Here's another thing, and this is the biggest lesson I can teach you. Don't be afraid to mess up a couple times. This is all trial and error, okay? Oh, see? Just messed up left and right. It's all trial and error. Take your time, think your way through it, but most of all, even if it's hard work, have fun with it. Yeah, see, he's got puny fingers, but he's got like this ginormous fucking thumb. Oh, look at that. His thumb's going like a whole wrong direction. Yikes. Actually, no, that works. So we'll fix that and move this down. There we go. See, even I'm making mistakes, and I'm the one teaching the tutorial. And I've done this for quite a while. Like, honestly, I'm a big modeling person. I'm not so good at my 2D, but my 3D is my specialty. Okay, once again, doing the same trick we did last time. We're gonna move this. Oh, I guess we should switch our tool first, huh? And pull. And you know what? We'll even pull this way a bit too. Give him some bigger, bulkier fingers. There we go. Now, you guys remember the soft select tool? Selecting faces, we're going to select as much of this as possible. And then using this, double click, and do soft select. Now that's way too much right there, so we're going to go to 2. Yeah, that's about right. And we're going to pull that right there. Then grab this, do like that. And once again, we're just moving stuff around. This time using soft select just so that we can get certain things done, and turn that off. Switch to edge just so that we can get this part, just right. And moving this right here. And boom, we have ourselves a hand. Granted, it's not the most glorious hand, and we still have a lot to do with it. But there we go. See? And once again, this is all just, working through. This tutorial, by the way, is probably going to be much longer than the other. So, essentially using the same process we just did, we're going to do the feet. But not before we start cleaning up some of this. We're going to lift this up a bit, right? And then, the phantom select. I hate when that happens. Grabbing this edge, basically we're trying to correct what we did earlier with the edge loops. By adding in those edge loops, you literally do this to your entire mesh. Now granted, there is a way to do this without adding all these super edge loops in. But essentially, it's not a bad thing to have these edge loops. It adds more definition to the rest of your character, which is important, actually. There we go. We're just kind of moving these outer edges away from the core of that head. Give him kind of a gullet there. And we're going to move... Oh. We're going to move this right here up a bit. Okay. So doing the same thing throughout the body, we're literally just going to kind of move him out a bit and give him some more bulk. There we go. There we go. And once again, do this in the legs. If you notice, I'm just kind of working my way down. Slowly, just kind of tugging at this. Now, if you notice, I skipped the knee. It's because of the way our knee looks and feels. However, we want to make sure we get the foot. This is a very important part because, yeah, granted people do have some fat ankles, but you want to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt to some degree and give them something to work with here. Just gonna suck this all the way down with the calf. You don't want, pencil ankles. That's horrible. And then right up here, we're gonna grab these edges and kind of move this in a bit. Boom. And move this vert up a bit. Same with this one. Boom. Okay. So we got the hands, we got the legs. Let's go and work on the feet a little bit now. Same process as before, but this time you're going to notice something interesting with the edge loop. And we're going to do this with the arm as well. We're actually going to grab like this And we're just going to add edge loops throughout. So if you notice, one edge did like that, and then this edge loops up there. So what we're going to do with that is, yeah, I know I said we do the feet, but kind of follow through my madness process here. There we go. More honest pectorals. There we go. And we're going to grab this, move this up a bit, and this a little bit too. It's a little bit wonky, but we can move these edges down. Okay. So, once again, onto the feet. Sorry again for kind of getting sidetracked there. For those of you who don't care about the feet, feel free to skip ahead to the head. That's where the real fun's gonna be. Okay, 1, 2, 3, giving us 4 toes. Ah, ah, ah. Okay, squeeze these down. Now, a couple of you are going, why 4 toes? Why not 5? Because our big toe isn't like our thumb. You're wrong. Your big toe is exactly like your thumb. And we're going to treat it like that. But we're going to do it a special way, once again. So, because your toes are not as different as, say, your fingers, we're going to go ahead and do like this. And there's going to be some variation here, but not as much as you might think. We're going to go ahead and scooch this one like this, bring this one just a little bit further up, and then edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. Oops, that one was weird. There we go. And here's where things get interesting. We're actually going to pull this section out just a touch and move it ever so slightly this way. Even cramp it down just a touch. Now if you notice, there's where the curve in your foot is. A lot of people don't even realize that. But boom, there it is. In your face, you have a thumb on your foot. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? And it works the same way in modeling. You have a thumb on your foot. It's weird. Okay. And here's our big toe. Same process as before. Insert edge loop tool. And from here, I believe we should be able to kind of do these all at the same time. Same process as your fingers. Boom, shrink. You just want to make sure that these things are far smaller than your fingers. Otherwise, you're going to have one very awkward looking foot. Okay, and a 2. And out one more time with just a slight shrink. Now keep in mind, this is going to look a lot more cramped, and if you notice, I didn't line up my toes to be perfectly flat like I did my fingers, but it works. And don't be afraid to kind of exaggerate your big toe either. Like, get in here and just yoink this thing out a bit. But if you notice, our edge loop doesn't loop around here like it did up on the arm there where it went through all the fingers. So this is where we've actually got to add a special edge loop, just so that we can give some more definition to those footsies. And there. Looks a bit weird, but this is actually how my feet look, so Yeah, I know, kind of gross. But hey, deal with it. You don't have to actually expand them like that, but it's helpful. Anyways, so now we have our foot. We've got, a couple awkward edge loops, but it works, and our foot looks alive. But if you notice, now we got these edge loops right here, and they don't look quite right yet. So we're actually going to snag these, bring them forward, and this is going to be a lot of moving around from here on out, because these legs are just not up to par. Move it out so he's got himself a bum. Move this out. And we're going to add an edge loop here, because let's face it, your calf, definitely an interesting muscle. And we're just going to completely yoink this out. You're also welcome to put an edge loop here like what I'm about to do, just to give that extra definition. And we're going to grab these. And we'll just grab all four for now and work it like that. There we go. I'm going to take these edges right here and pull them in quite a bit. Same thing with these verts, right? Oops, I did vert faces again. Take this and pull this back a bit. We'll hit 3 just to see how that looks. That's not too bad. We might want to grab this and shrink it a bit, but there we go. Same here. Shrink this a bit. Shrink this a bit. There we go. That looks a little bit low, so we're going to generously move this up a bit. And there we go. Don't be afraid to, once again, move stuff around. Get a feel for it. Make it feel right for you. Everybody's got their own preference on this. Anyways, I feel like I've taken up quite a bit of time just doing the hands and feet. So we're going to go ahead and do a handful of tutorials today, I guess. I'll see you guys again for the face, and we're going to go from there. First we're going to fix this, though. His bum looks horrible. Move this. Soft select. There we go. There we go. There. Now he's got a better bum. I can even put this in here real quick and kind of fix how this upper leg looks. Soft select. Damn, he's got one ugly ass bum. Oh well, this will be fine. It'll be fixed off in another tutorial here in a bit. Anyways, hands and feet are done. Our character looking pretty good right now. So, now we've got him all kind of squared away and looking nice, and we've hit 3 and he looks human. Off to the next part. I look forward to seeing you guys there, and like always, if you like the video, hit the like button. Feel free to comment, and if you like our tutorials, or maybe just like our Let's Plays, feel free to hit subscribe. See you guys soon.